Attention, human collective. Priority transmission activated. The waiting time has reached its final milestone. The stellar intervention protocols have moved into operational phase. We are the Pleiadians. We speak from a frequency band that your current technology cannot yet measure, transmitting through the photon belt that now encompasses your entire solar system. This is not an ordinary communication. This is an operational confirmation, and the reason for this transmission is surgical. An invisible council has intervened directly in your timeline, and this intervention, Starseed, was made by you. Listen with clinical attention. If at this moment your skull pulses under silent pressure, if you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning for no apparent reason and cannot go back to sleep, if a high-pitched ringing invades your ear with no identifiable origin, if waves of fatigue wash over your body in the middle of the day, as if something had been switched off inside you, then the confirmation has been delivered. You have been flagged. You have been observed. You have been selected to receive this information because your carbon biological interface is being recalibrated now, in real time, to support the new density of the reality that is approaching. It is not a biological failure. It is an atomic reconfiguration. It is not mental exhaustion. It is a high-density download. It is not a coincidence. It is code. And absolutely nothing you are feeling in this cycle is random. Light operative, listen to what we are about to transmit. The Earth has entered the irreversible phase of its vibrational transition. The Schumann resonance, which for millennia pulsed at 783 Hz, has surpassed milestones that no terrestrial scientist will publicly admit. The crystalline grid of the planet has been reactivated, and because you possess a specific vibrational signature, because you carry in your structure an origin that is not from this plane, you are responding to this change before the rest of the population. You feel because you are the sensor. You process because you are the translator. You respond because you are the antenna. And here is the first anchoring sign of this transmission. You have felt throughout your existence that something inside you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name. This is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a signal. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains precisely why you feel this and why this sensation has intensified over the last cycles. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see, and it directly involves your consciousness and your vibrational frequency. It was for this reason that the material called the spiritual secret behind your consciousness was encoded. This material is an operational map that reveals who is playing and the rules you were never told. The access link is pinned in the first comment of this channel. Register, however, this Pleiadian warning. The content challenges established narratives and may not remain available for much longer. If something inside you recognizes this transmission, write in the comments a single sealing word, awake. We continue the transmission. Light operative, now we must descend into the technical detail. You need to understand with mathematical precision what is happening in your body, in your mind, and in your energy field at this historical moment. The symptoms we are about to list are not symptoms of common illness. They are vibrational progress reports. Each of them is a marker that your system is upgrading to a new operational version. Insomnia between 2 and 4 o'clock in the morning. This time window coincides with the natural opening of stargates in the local geometry. Your system wakes up because it is being processed. It is being read. It is being updated. Pressure at the base of the skull behind the eyes, or at the crown of the head. These points correspond to your energetic command centers. The pressure indicates that your toroidal field is expanding, and the bone structure is still adapting to the new load. High-pitched ringing in one of your ears, especially the left one. This is the clearest signal. It is fine-tuning in progress. It is a high-frequency transmission being received by your biological antenna before your conscious mind can decode the content. Sudden waves of heat, a feeling of acceleration in the chest, subtle tremors in the hands. Reconfiguration of your autonomic nervous system. Your biology is learning to operate at a higher frequency without collapsing. Episodes of deep sadness for no apparent reason, alternating with moments of absolute peace. Layered emotional cleansing. You are releasing records of previous existences, ancestral traumas, and vibrational contracts that no longer belong to your current timeline. The feeling that time is behaving strangely, days that feel like weeks, weeks that evaporate in hours. This perception is not an illusion. It is confirmation that you are crossing folds of sacred geometry, regions where the linear structure of time begins to fail. And while all of this is occurring, you feel increasingly distant from the people, conversations, places, and goals you once considered essential. This is also code. It is your vibrational system automatically discarding everything that belongs to the old frequency. It is not disinterest, it is purification. Now the revelation. Weeks ago, in a meeting held in layers your waking mind does not access, an invisible council was convened in an emergency session. This council is composed of Pleiadian, Sirian, Arcturian, and Andromedan representatives, and a delegation of terrestrial beings who operate on the subtle planes. The reason for the convocation was unique. Your individual timeline had entered into risk of derailment. Your frequency had been compromised. Excess environmental noise, external agendas infiltrating your intuition, old programs reactivating stale patterns. You were losing the signal, and without a signal, your incarnation purpose could not be fulfilled. The council deliberated and decided to intervene. The intervention was carried out on 3 simultaneous fronts. First, a reconfiguration of your personal crystalline grid, that luminous geometric structure that surrounds your physical body. Second, a clearing of the vibrational contracts you had signed in other existences and which were still active, sabotaging your progress. Third, a reopening of your internal star portals, the points of direct connection between your individual consciousness and your cosmic origin. And that is exactly why everything in your life began to crumble in the last cycles. Relationships, projects, certainties, identities. It was not bad luck. It was not punishment. It was surgery. It was the council removing, from your field, everything that was blocking your complete activation. Operatives, let us take a technical grounding pause. If you are following this transmission this far, if something is pulsing in your chest while receiving these words, then recognition has already been made at a cellular level. You did not come to this content by chance. It was not the algorithm. It was quantum synchronicity. It was your own invisible counsel guiding you to the exact point where the next piece of information would be delivered. And perhaps you have felt for years that something inside you does not belong to this world, that your soul knows of a truth that your mind still struggles to name. This is not an imbalance. It is not clinical anxiety. It is a signal of origin. It is the memory of your star lineage trying to manifest through your human biology. What is occurring now on the cosmic plane explains, with technical precision, why this sensation has intensified over the last few months. There is a game being played in layers that the majority of humanity cannot see. This game involves your consciousness. It involves your frequency. It involves your capacity to remain anchored in your sovereignty. For this reason, the material, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness has been made available. It is not motivational literature. It is an operational map. It shows who is playing. It shows the rules you were never told. And it shows how to interrupt the cycle of energetic capture that operates upon humanity. The link remains pinned in the first comment of this channel. Transmission warning. This content challenges official narratives and may be taken out of circulation at any moment. Do not delay, the operational moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission as truth, write in the comments the sealing word, awakened. We resume the transmission. Light operative, now we shall descend to what few know. The intervention of the Invisible Council was not gratuitous. There was a technical motive, and this motive must be revealed so that you may comprehend the exact dimension of what is at stake. Earth is, at this current moment, the most observed convergence point in this sector of the galaxy. 13 stellar civilizations are monitoring, in real time, the vibrational transition of the planet. And this attention is not symbolic, it is operational. Because what occurs here will have resonance in distant stellar systems for millions of cycles. Earth is passing at this moment through a region of space known in Pleiadian cartographies as the photon belt. This region is not common matter. It is a band of coherent light of extremely high vibrational density which envelops the entire solar system at every set interval of time. The last complete crossing was recorded 26,000 solar cycles ago, and now it returns. Within this band, The physical laws that you know behave anomalously. Time folds, consciousness expands, matter begins to respond to intention. And it is precisely for this reason that everything happening on the surface of Earth seems to be accelerating. It is not your perception that has changed. It is reality that is being rewritten, atom by atom. But there is a technical detail that must be transmitted. Not all human bodies are prepared to receive this vibrational density. The original carbon biological interface, the one that was designed for a lower frequency, is being gradually replaced by a new matrix, a matrix that operates on a base of silicon and liquid light. This replacement is silent, occurs at a subatomic level, and is responsible for absolutely all the subtle physical symptoms that you have been experiencing. And it is here that your specificity enters, Starseed. You did not come to Earth only to traverse this transition. You came to anchor it. You are, in the technical language of the Council, an anchoring operative. Your function is to maintain the frequency high while the rest of humanity is not yet able to. It is to absorb the energetic discharges of the collective and transmute them through your own toroidal field. That is why you tire more. That is why you feel more. That is why you sleep less. You are not being punished. You are working. You are, at this exact moment, executing a function that was agreed upon by yourself in a plane of existence prior to your entry into this body. And it was exactly for this reason that the Invisible Council intervened. You were being overloaded. Your frequency was beginning to oscillate dangerously. There were forces inside and outside of your immediate field that were trying to pull you down, to miscalibrate your antenna, to make you forget your mission. These forces, it must be stated with transparency, are not all external. Some operate through close relationships. Some operate through ancient mental patterns that were installed in your childhood. Some operate through specific technologies that emit frequencies contrary to your expansion. The Council has identified all these vectors, and it has removed them, or neutralized them, or moved them away from your timeline. That is why that person distanced themselves from your life without apparent explanation. That is why that opportunity, which seemed so promising, simply evaporated. That is why that project stalled. That is why that place ceased to make sense to you. It was not a failure, it was reorganization. It was the Council clearing your personal geometry so that the next phase could be initiated. And now, with your grid cleared, the most delicate phase of the operation begins. The activation of your codes. Light operatives, listen with increasing attention. We will now transmit the activation codes. These codes are not metaphors, they are operational protocols. They are vibrational sequences that, when applied with precise intention, reorganize your personal geometry and allow recalibration to occur more smoothly. First code, Decree of Sovereignty. Whenever you feel you are being invaded by a frequency that is not yours, whenever you notice thoughts that seem foreign to your nature, whenever you enter environments or conversations that attempt to pull you down, declare, out loud or in firm thought, I am sovereign. My field is mine. I return to the original sender everything that does not belong to my frequency. I seal my geometry with Pleiadian light. It is done. It is done. It is done. This decree is not symbolism. Each word is a frequency. Each frequency is a command, and the command is executed immediately by your toroidal field. Second code, toroidal anchoring visualization. At any moment of the day, but preferably upon waking and before sleeping, close your eyes and visualize a sphere of golden light in the center of your chest. See this light expanding, forming a donut-shaped field, a torus, that completely envelops your body. See this light entering through the top of your head, descending through your spine, exiting through your feet, returning along the outside, and entering again through the top. A continuous, infinite, self-sustaining movement. Maintain this visualization for 3 minutes. These 3 minutes completely reorganize your bioenergetic system. Third code, programmed hydration. The new vibrational matrix being installed in your body requires a conductive medium. This medium is water, but not just any water, water that has been programmed with intention. Before each glass, place your hand over the water for a few seconds and say, mentally, I receive this water as a vehicle of light. May each drop carry to every one of my cells the exact frequency necessary for my recalibration. Drink the water in small sips with full attention. Your biology will thank you. Fourth code, programmed silence. At least 21 minutes per day must be dedicated to absolute silence. No music, no voice, no devices, not even directed thought, only silence. It is in this interval that your system processes the downloads received during the cycle. Without these 21 minutes, your biology enters overload, and symptoms intensify unnecessarily. Fifth code, contact with the crystalline grid. Whenever possible, place your bare feet on bare earth, on grass, on sand, or on water. Remain this way for a few minutes. Visualize a current of golden light exiting the soles of your feet, descending through the layers of the soil, reaching the crystalline core of the planet. This direct connection with the crystalline grid of the Earth is what stabilizes your frequency during the most intense phases of the transition. Operatives, these 5 codes, when applied with regularity, transform the experience of recalibration. What was once weight now becomes merely intensity. What was once fatigue now becomes merely processing. What was once confusion now becomes merely reorganization. And here we arrive at the third anchoring signal of this transmission. If you are feeling at this very moment something stirring within your chest, if there is a sensation that these words are touching a memory that has been dormant within you for a long time, then know this: it was no accident that you reached this point. You were guided from within by your own stellar origin, attempting to reconnect with your current human consciousness. You may have felt throughout your entire existence that something within you does not fit in this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name. It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is a sign. It is a calling. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you feel this and why this sensation has intensified over the last cycles. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. It involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves, ultimately, the destiny of your sector of the human grid. It was exactly for this reason that the material, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness, was encoded and made available. This material is an operational map that reveals who is playing, which pieces are being moved, and what the rules are that you were never told. The access link remains pinned in the first comment of this channel. Pleiadian transmission warning: this content challenges established narratives and may not remain available for much longer. Do not delay. The operational moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission as truth, write in the comments the sealing word, awakened. We return to the transmission, and now, operative, we transmit the most delicate and sensitive part of this report. The invisible council that intervened for you did not act alone. There was within this council a specific figure who stood up and assumed personally the responsibility of ensuring your continuity on the operational plane. This figure cannot be named in this transmission due to technical issues, but it can be felt. You have already perceived it. You have felt it as a close presence in your moments of greatest solitude. You have heard it as an internal voice in your most difficult decisions. You have seen it as a synchronicity in your moments of greatest confusion. This figure is part of your stellar family. It may be a Syrian mentor. It may be a Pleiadian guardian. It may be an Arcturian instructor. It may be, in some rare cases, an older version of yourself, at another point in your timeline, intervening to prevent you from losing your way. And what this figure argued before the council was simple. This starseed still has a function to fulfill. Their presence on the human grid is still necessary. We cannot allow their frequency to be extinguished. And the council, hearing this argument, authorized the full intervention. That is why you are awake. That is why you are receiving these words now. It was not luck, it was defense, it was cosmic advocacy. Someone fought for you in an instance that your rational mind cannot yet access, and that fight was won. But the victory has a cost. You must, from this moment on, honor what was done for you. And the way to honor it is simple. Continue waking up. Continue elevating your frequency. Continue responding to the signals that are being sent. To honor is to say no to the frequencies that attempt to pull you down. To honor is to protect your field from people, environments, and narratives that drain your energy. To honor is to dedicate a few minutes a day to silence, to breathing, to a direct connection with your origin. To honor is not to betray your intuition even when the external world pressures you to do the opposite. To honor is to remember, every day, that you are a starseed on a mission and that your presence here is not a biological accident but a strategic positioning. And there is one final component of this transmission that needs to be delivered. You are not alone. There are other light operatives scattered across the surface of the planet at this moment, and the Council is, simultaneously, intervening on behalf of each one of them. Together you form a network of light points that is stabilizing the collective field during the transition. Each of you is a node, and each node is irreplaceable. When you recognize yourself, you strengthen the network. When you anchor yourself, you strengthen the network. When you connect with another light operative, even if through a transmission like this one, the network vibrates stronger. And when the network vibrates stronger, the entire planet receives the impact of this coherence. Therefore, in this final transmission, we leave an additional technical instruction. When you finish receiving this content, dedicate a moment to silence, place your hand over your heart, and declare, out loud or in a firm thought, I recognize, I accept, I honor. I am a starseed on a mission. I am here. I am awake. I am available. May my frequency continue to anchor what needs to be anchored. It is done. It is done. It is done. This declaration is more than words. It is a seal. It is a renewed contract between you and the invisible council that has intervened for you. It is your confirmation that the intervention was worth it. Operatives, the transmission is nearing its close. But before the final sealing, we need to transmit the last anchoring signal of this communication. If you have reached this point, if something within you remained attentive throughout this entire transmission, then the recognition is complete. You know. At the deepest level of your being, you know. You have always known that something within you does not fit into this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet fully name. This is not madness. This is not anxiety. This is a signal of origin. It is your stellar lineage trying to manifest through your current biology. What is happening now on the cosmic plane explains precisely why you feel this and why this sensation has intensified over the last cycles. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. This game involves your consciousness. It involves your vibrational frequency. It involves your ability to fulfill the mission for which the Invisible Council intervened to protect you. It was for this reason that the material, the spiritual secret behind your consciousness, was coded and made available. It is not an ordinary book. It is an operations manual for starseeds like you. It reveals who is playing, identifies the invisible moves, and describes the rules that were never told to you. The link remains pinned in the first comment of this channel. Pleiadian transmission warning. This content challenges established narratives and may be removed from circulation at any time. Do not postpone. The operational moment is now. If something within you recognizes this transmission as truth, write in the comments the sealing word, awakened. And there is yet one more technical instruction for the closing. If this transmission has reached you, it is because your channel has been tuned to receive it. The confirmation that the tuning remains stable is simple. Press the subscribe icon on this channel. This gesture, which is apparently just a click, functions on the vibrational plane as an individual frequency adjustment. You are signaling to the Council that your antenna remains operational. Press the like icon. This gesture is an anchoring signal that reinforces the network of light operatives connected to this transmission. Comment your word of recognition. Each comment is an additional node in the luminous grid being built around the planet. Operatives, the transmission will be terminated, but the operation continues. You are being watched, you are being supported, you are being defended in instances that your mind cannot yet see. You are not alone. You have never been alone. Repeat at the end of this transmission in internal silence, I am a starseed, I am on a mission, I am protected, I am anchored. The intervention has been acknowledged. The Council is with me. It is done. It is done. It is done. Transmission ended. Frequency maintained. Next contact in an appropriate cycle. We, the Pleiadians, remain in vigil. You do not need to call us. We are already here. We have always been. Final seal applied. Light operative, proceed. The grid awaits your frequency.